Good morning, dear students. This is Durgesh Kumar Pandey, your history teacher. Students, in my previous class, I had discussed about the community. Before communities, we had discussed seen before 12 AD, which comes under the faith. The first phase of Islamic expansion or Islamic emergence, that was faith, and second was community. And now today I am going to discuss the third phase of Islamic emergence, that is polity. Polity. What kinds of political situations during the emergence of Islam we are going to discuss today about the political situations, about the polity of emergence of Islam. Students, after Muhammad's death in 632 AD, political authority was transferred to the Ummah with no principles of succession. With no principles of succession. First point, which is very important for to understand about the political situations after the death of Honorable Prophet Muhammad. When the Muhammad's death, after the death of Muhammad Sahab, after the death of Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD, when the Prophet Muhammad had died, after that the political authority were transferred to the, after that political authority was transferred without no transferred to the Ummah, transferred to the Ummah with no principles of succession, with no principles of succession. With no principles of succession. Students, try to understand the political situations of emergence during the emergence of Islam after the death of Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD. The political authority was transferred to the Ummah. Later it became the Umayyad. Transferred to the Ummah. What were the conditions? With no principles of succession. With no principles of succession, students. To created opportunities for innovation, but also caused deep divisions among the Muslims. To created opportunities for innovation. To created opportunities for innovation, but also caused the divisions among the Muslims. To created opportunities to created opportunities for innovation, innovation for innovations, but also caused deep divisions, but also caused deep divisions among Muslims, but also caused deep divisions, deep divisions among Muslims. If any conditions of succession were there, so that it could not be happened to the conflict among all Muslims. But here was the principle of succession with no principles of succession. कोई उत्तराधिकारी नहीं होगा उनका. To created opportunities for innovation, but also caused deep division among Muslims. Students, the biggest innovation was the creations of institution. The biggest innovation was the creations of institution. The biggest innovation was the creations of institution, of caliphate were to retain control over the tribes, control over the tribes, constituting the ummah, and to the raise resource for the state. Over the tribes constituting the ummah, constituting the ummah, and to raise resource for the state, and to raise the resource for the states, and to raise resource for the state, for the states. Students, the biggest innovations were the creations of institutions of caliphate were to retain control over the tribes, constituting the ummah, and to raise resource for the state. Students, the main duties of the Khalifas were to safeguard and spread Islam. The Khalifas who were lead the main roles for spreading the Islam What were the main duties of Khalifas? What were the main duties of Khalifa? Khalifa, the head of the Muslims during that times, who led the situation, led the political situations, led the political authorities of Islam's at that times. They were known as Khalifa. The main duties of Khalifa were to spread the Islam in all over the world. The main duties of Khalifas, the main duties of Khalifa were to safeguard and spread Islam, were to safeguard and spread Islam. Spread Islam. Students, after this, we would like to discuss about the Islamic distributions, modern Islams, early Islams, modern Islams, early Islam. The two categories divided. The two categories were, first one modern Islam and second was early Islam. Students, now we will discuss about the modern Islam. Modern Islam. Modern Islam. By 21st century, there are over 1 billion Muslims living in all parts of the world. Near about in 21st century, in 21st century, near about 1 billion Muslims, near about 1 billion Muslims near about 1 billion Muslims living in all parts of the world. Muslims living in all parts of the world. Living in all parts of the world. How many numbers were Muslim there? Near about 1 billion of Muslims. Second, they are the citizens of different nations. They were the citizens of the different nations with different languages and dresses. They are the citizens of different nations, citizens of different nations, speaks different languages, speak different languages and speaks different languages and wear different kinds of dresses. And wear different kinds of dresses. Kinds of dresses. Students, they are the citizens of different nations, speak different languages and wear different kinds of dresses. Now we will discuss about the early Muslims, early Islams. In early Islams, early Islam, who were the peoples who count as the early Islam? What were the features? What were the features of early Islam? United in its observance of the Sharia in rituals and personal matters. United in observance, united in its observance, in its observance, united in its observance of the Sharia in its ritual, observance of the Sharia, of the Sharia. Sharia is a kind of Muslims law. Sharia is a kind of Muslims law in rituals and personal matter. Sharia in rituals and personal matters. Personal matters. Students, try to understand what is the big difference between the modern Islam and early Islam. In modern Islam, that in 21st century, near about 1 billion Muslims living in all parts of the world. They are the citizens of different nations, speak different languages and wear different kinds of dresses. But if we will focus towards the early Islams, then we had seen here, united in its observance of the Sharia in rituals and the personal matters. Each and everything they followed whatever according to the Sharia for their personal convenience. For their personal convenience. Second, it was the defining its religious identity. It was defining its religious identity. Its religious identity. Religious identity. Islam strongly opposed the idol worship. Islam strongly opposed idol worship. Idol worship यानी ये मूर्ति पूजा का विरोधी है. अगर किसी डाइटीज को सिर्फ मानकर अगर आप वर्शिप करते हो तो इस्लाम क्या होता है, उसका स्ट्रांगली अपोज करता है अकॉर्डिंग टू द अर्ली इस्लाम. 2 points are also under the next point. In Islam, reciting kalma, holy chants, namaz, prayer, roza, fast, zakat, alms tax and hajj are the 5 pillars of Islam. 5 pillars of Islam, they support that the persons who are the true Muslims, they must be follow, they must be recite kalma, reciting kalma, which is known as the holy chants, namaz, which is the prayer near about 5 times fixed for the namaz. If you are a true Muslims, then you practice 5 times namaz. 5 times namaz in a day. Practice 5 times namaz in a day. 24 घंटे में आपको 5 बार नमाज अदा करना है. Next, roza, which were held during the month of Ramzan. It is a kind of fast. It's a kind of fast. Next, zakat. It's a kind of alms tax. It's a kind of tax. Zakat is a kind of alms tax. And hajj. These are 5 main pillars of Islam. Students, Islam laid special stress on the principles of equality. Last point, Islam stress is special stress. Islam stress or led on the principles of equality. Islam stress led on the principles of equality, students. So students, you can easily find out the main practices of early Islam. First is united in its observance of Sharia in rituals and all personal matters. They must be followed the Sharia law. Sharia is a kind of Muslim law. Second, it was defining its religious identity. If you are a true Muslim, then you must follow each and every rules and regulations according to the Sharia law. Islam strongly opposed the worship of idol. ये मूर्ति पूजा में विश्वास नहीं रखते थे. ये सोचते थे, इनका जो मानना था वो ये मानना था कि ईश्वर का जो रूप है वो अमूर्त है, किसी मूर्त रूप में ईश्वर नहीं है. Reciting kalma is a kind of holy chants. It's a kind of holy chants. Namaz, it's a kind of prayer. Roza, it's a kinds of fast. It's a kinds of fast. And zakat, it's a kinds of alms tax. And last one, that is hajj. These are the 5 main pillars of Islam. If you are a true Muslims, then you must follow each and every rules and regulations which are given according to the Sharia. With these statements, students, now I am going to end this session here. Thank you very much.